Dave, I did not listen to Joey Badass, All-Amerikkkan and
All-American Badass.
So what did you think of that album? Because I know you're a huge Mr. Robot fan, a huge Elliott fan, a huge Joey Badass fan.
All
and you
true.
were really hoping Kendrick would give him some shine, and it seems like he did.
Yeah, no, I could not be more thrilled that Kendrick didn't drop on Friday.
Right.
Just because to give Joey some chance to shine. Yeah, so this is Joey's second album.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 22.
So
Yeah, just recently was 21. Joey Badass from New York, really holding it down for New York hip hop for a long time now, because he's been active and well known in the hip hop circle since he was like 17.
Really?
He's been out for 5 years.
Was he a XXL freshman?
Yes, like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. So
Yeah, Joey's a rising star because he's been around for so long. Again, he's so young. And we talked about his acting pursuits before. Yeah, I mean, he first came up on the 1999 mixtape, and when we heard that, it was just so refreshing because it was just a classic 90s boom bap jazz rap sound.
Yeah.
Just very much, like a Wu-Tang, like a Biggie.
Right.
Those, old school beats. No trap beats here. It's just not the way.
So kind of a generic sound.
No, just a very 90s sound. It doesn't sound contemporary at all. So very unique, actually, in that regard, because no one else is rapping like that. And he's part of his pro era clique, his crew. And again, really, him and A$AP Rocky are the only real stars of New York hip hop of any substance recently. There's
Isn't that crazy?
A lot more independent people. I know it is crazy. I mean, A$AP Ferg as well, but again, like Rocky and Ferg don't actually have that much of a New York sound.
But New York City from like the mid '80s through the '90s was like the center of hip hop.
Was the birthplace
moving a
of
little
hip-hop.
bit to the West Coast at the middle to late '90s. Like,
right.
There's that beef.
I mean, now you have Dave East, you have Young M.A., you have Boogie with the Hoodie, you have some people, but again, like clearly Joey and Rocky and Ferg are like the only real stars.
Right.
Obviously we talk about the West Coast, Kendrick, Future, Schoolboy Q, all those guys are all West Coast, and then Chicago obviously holding it down with Chance and all the other new Chicago people. And
shout out Chance the Rapper.
Of course, Atlanta with Migos leading the way, Gucci back. So New York's kind of been, on the bottom for a while, but It's really good to see Joey come out with such a strong record. And I think what's such a great takeaway about All-American Badass is that it's so focused. Yeah. It's not just a concept album so much as it's just very singularly focused.
Okay.
Joey has things to say and he says them, and it's all about.
So what is he talking about?
Yeah, he's talking about current events.
Okay.
Black on black crime, mass incarceration, police brutality, and sometimes he's in a really aggressive tone. Sometimes he's like calling out for help. So he's trying to motivate people to come together. I think the album's really strong.
So it's kind of like a cry for social justice, but in different forms.
Someone's to bring attention to it. He's not trying to solve the problems, because I think he's always come across as a pretty smart guy despite his young age. But he knows he's not going to solve any problems with the album. But he's just trying to bring people together. Like he said it. Right. He actually had a really good Hot 97 interview, and he's like, "Yeah, like I'm just trying to get all my brothers to know that we got to team up to get through this shit." And I thought, and you can really say if you listen to the song, like there's one that's "Why You Know Love Me," and it comes across as like almost like a sad like breakup song, but it's really about why his country doesn't love him because he's black.
Wow.
And he's got a lot of songs.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, he's got a lot of songs like that. Actually, the closer, the last song of the album, which is it's only 12 tracks, which I think it's really really succinct. It's called American Idol, obviously with 3 Ks. Yeah. And that's where he just goes at Trump.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like YG just dropping like "Fuck Donald Trump." Like, right. It was right at the end of his album, right? If I remember.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Still Brazy had I think like 3 or 4 songs that talked about mainly the negative things Trump said about minorities and Mexican people specifically, but not the whole album wasn't about that. The whole album for Joey Badass is focused on this idea, and that's why I think it's definitely a must listen. It's definitely the best rap album of the year so far.
It's interesting. I mean, we've talked before about how rock in a lot of ways has lost its influence on the culture just in general, and hip hop has really taken its place. Right. And it seems like one of the things people were interested in is Donald Trump, a very divisive leader in our country right now, takes over. How will that impact culture? It seems like rock is kind of struggling to take that and run with it in a way.
Right.
Like, I mean, Father John Misty maybe might be the most politically driven rock album that has been released towards.
But how direct is it really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But YG, A Tribe Called Quest.
Yep.
And Joey Badass now, all really just taking very direct shots at the government.
And that's the thing, like, this Joey record's more political than any of those things, because he's even more political than To Pimp a Butterfly, because with Kendrick, you know, he talks about a lot of heavy shit, but he also kind of always brings it back to, like, his personal themes about how it affected him as an artist or coming up or whatever, whereas Joey's kind of talking about the bigger picture the whole time.
Right.
Whether it's at a neighborhood level or a national level. There's actually a song called Legendary with J. Cole. One of J. Cole's
Cole featured?
Very rare feature from J. Cole. I think when J. Cole used the Joey Badass Waves beat for False Prophets, the lead up to Cole's last album, he returned the favor by giving Joey a feature.
Nice.
And it's funny because you can't help but laugh that All-American Badass is such a more successful concept album, because Joey actually delivers on what he's setting out to do, whereas Cole on Free Your Eyes only kind of always dances around his things and like he flirts with all these ideas, but usually doesn't succeed on all of them. That's kind of what we talked about, just kind of like I always say, like, I don't want to give Cole a participation medal for trying to make this kind of album, because he didn't succeed. But Joey definitely succeeded. And Land of the Free song was already out. Definitely check that out. Great political lyrics, really accessible song. And then it wouldn't be a Joey album without a clear banger, and that's clearly Ring the Alarm, featuring Kirk Knight and Nick Caution, which are both pro-era guys.
Okay.
And then Michi Darko, who is from Flatbush Zombies, the guy with the deepest voice, that really unique one. That song's his total banger.
Wow, awesome.
So definitely check this album out. It's worth listening to. If I had to say anything negative about it, like a lot of lyrical hip-hop albums, it can sort of blend together, just like, because it's kind of, the beats are kind of similar, so, and when you listen to heavy shit for a while, it just kind of, get mixed up in your head. Absolutely. And also, honestly, Joey's probably preaching to the choir. I don't know how many new fans he's going to get with something so heavy and so political, but
that's interesting.
Can't fault him for that.